So yeah, continuing with the second possibility in part one, you're describing an accident that you were involved in. I was driving down Martin Street when a cyclist suddenly turned right in front of me. I knocked him over, and I immediately called the ambulance, and he was taken to hospital. Okay, you could do it with a road accident. I was walking along the street when a cyclist suddenly turned right and a bus ran into him. Something like that. Okay, I immediately called for the ambulance and checked to see if he was okay. You could try it with the robbery or a fight that you witnessed or a work accident. Okay, so for example, I was in the nightclub when two young ladies decided to start fighting each other. I notified security and they threw them out of the nightclub and they continued fighting outside. That was a joke. Right, let's go on to part two. Now, part two will be an email or a letter. It can be formal to a company, semi formal to a teacher, or informal to a friend. You need to start it correctly. You need to write 5 or 6 sentences answering each point of the task. Please just check the list, okay? And then finish it. Okay, and please make sure you learn these because they're very formulaic. Okay, it's the same thing every time. Let's have a look at my slideshow with part two. And this is the previous part with reporting an accident. Okay, this is, all you really need to do. Okay. Now, correspondence. Yeah, style is more important here. You can prepare 3 sets of phrases, one for each level of formality. We can also use more formal vocabulary, which comes later in the Word document. So let's have a look at these 3 emails. Imagine you can see 3 exam questions. Number 1 is an email to the shop manager of a shop where you bought a product that is faulty. Remember what some of you did in the speaking exam. This will help. Number 2 is to your teacher asking to come back to his class. And number 3 is answering a friend's question about visiting your area, which I've actually set as homework. How would you fill the gaps here with logical information? Okay, so for each one of these ones, yeah? You're complaining about the service in a shop. I'm writing to ask you if I can come back to your class. Hey, it's great that you're visiting. I'm so pleased. I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, that kind of thing. Yeah. On the left, we've got some things that structure the sequence of your reply. It's a good idea to start a new paragraph with each one, if not a new sentence. Okay. See you soon. Love and kisses, of course, is the one that you write to your friend, not to your teacher. You could write, I look forward to receiving your reply to your teacher, or you could write that in a business letter, of course. So different levels of formality. There is a little bit of overlap. Okay. Now, I've got some more formal language down here, and I want you to match the pairs. I'm glad I'm sending you this as an attachment. Yeah. So, for example, you would say additional if you're using formal language, but extra if we're using informal language. Okay. I can take some extra days off work to show you around the town. Okay. There was an additional problem when the new model of camera was no longer available. Okay, that kind of idea. That is part 2, task 2. Don't worry too much about writing addresses on letters and stuff like that. But you can make it look more like an email if you want. Okay, and then we will go on to part 3 in just a moment. Let me just go back to my 3 emails. Yeah, at the bottom, as I said, additional means the same as extra. So that was part 2. Very, very important that you get at least 5 sentences that are grammatically correct. Okay. And we'll move on to part 3 next.